Hello everyone and welcome to another tournament stream. Woohoo! Today I will be streaming the third day of the second qualifier for the EU server. Bit of house cleaning out of the way. There is a 3-minute delay on the stream. That is to avoid any stream sniping happening. And of course there is a giveaway running on this stream, which means that you can win a September Battle Pass or one of 4 fan containers. All you need to do for that is to post the damage that you think the team on the left in the grand finals, we do not know yet who that is, will do in the grand finals on the second game. And the closest guess will win that battle pass, and the next 4 closest guesses will win a fan container. So basically for that you have to post your exact, well, your in-game name, your server, and your exact damage guess. So you can't write 2k, you have to write 2000 for instance. Basically just to mean that you need to write it out. But you're guessing for the team, so 2k damage would be way little. But yeah. Anyhow, let's go to my garage. I've accepted the room invite. Now we just need to wait for it to drop below 3 minutes before we can actually go into the room. There is this horrible... Basically, one of the things that I do before I stream is that I go over everything, even though I don't really play on PC. So all the notifications that I have are for everything that I've gotten in the meantime on my iPad. And that basically means that I click away all the notifications because they drive me mad. And then you have this, and it pisses me off so much because I'm not going to pay 24 euros in order to click away those missions, because that's basically what I'd be doing. So yeah, I'm not happy with that. I wish you could just mark it as red. Like, I understand the game giving you a notification, but after that you should just be able to click it away. So with that pet peeve out of the way, like I said, we are streaming the third day of the second qualifier. We are streaming group 6 today, which is Raid, Desert, Boo, and BPS. I do not know exactly which team I'm attached to, so we're going to see that in a bit. But yeah, that's what we're going to be looking at. Basically, what teams can win with this is cups, because this is what it is all about. This is what the teams can win. And the cups is the most important part, because after all the qualifiers, the amount of cups that a team has, or at least that a clan has, will determine who is through to the top 8. From there we go to the top 4, etc. So yeah, we can go into the room now. And here we are. We are attached to BPS, I think. We're going to start it off on Middelburg. We see a batchat already being taken, so I am curious about that. Also, like, I have a little cheat sheet because I do not know how to pronounce all the names. But I see that we have Kabanchik, which basically means little boar. Then we have... Oh god, that was Solotka Kishechka? And apparently that would be Ukrainian for sweet kitten. So I like that. Basically, I'm really thankful to A because every now and again, because I cannot read or speak Cyrillic, basically, when I see these names, I will just send him like a list like help, and then he tells me what the English pronunciation would be, and also what they mean, and I really love that. So I'm very grateful for that. In the meantime, both teams are completely ready. Well, completely there, not completely ready yet. We still have 1 minute and 14 seconds left to go. Like I said, we are starting off on Middelburg. That looks something like this. It is one of the older maps in the game. It was reworked at some point. I do kind of miss the old Middelburg. I kind of hope that with the old maps returning, we will get that one back as well, because it should be fun. Probably horrible, but also fun. Thank you, Agassi. Basically, I said in the my moderator chat, I said, like, I have my fan in the background because it's still very warm here, and my room is facing west, so the sun is shining into my room at the end of the day. So I just have my fan on, but it's important that the microphone, of course, doesn't pick that up. So thank you for confirming that it doesn't. I'm happy with that. Now, with 26 seconds left to go, we see Boo ready with 4 AMX 54s, 2 E50Ms, and a 215B. And on BPS's side, we see 5 AMX 54s, a Super Conqueror, and a batchat. And there we go, countdown clock beginning. And let's see how the first battle goes. Oh, can you just imagine, by the way, if we had like the old maps back and we had tours on that, that would be probably hilarious and at the same time completely horrible. Let's see. Oh, I like the camos. There are so many pretty camos in the game. Still peeved at Nyan Cat Cafe event though. Like, it was supposed to be all cats, and the graphics is just not what we're used to from the graphic department, because I'm pretty much the biggest fangirl for the graphics department, and this was just not their usual level. So let's see, we have two E50Ms versus one little pat in the bat chat. The bat chat? Should I call it that? He's not. Ooh, he is spotting people. Not the E50Ms though. But they know that the 215. Ooh, this is what I love too. It's just the whole blind shot bits that are happening there, because they know the bat chat has to be there. In the meantime, Punisher is kind of has to be AF. No. Basically, he's being eaten alive, has to get out of there. Base B is being stolen, base A has been caught. But our little sweet kitten is taking base B. He might get away with it. No, he does not. He does get reset for that. Eats a lot of HP, but this does mean that Boo has a point advantage now. I'm really curious to see that this happened at all, because this is pretty, well, daring from Boo, especially against a clan like BPS. Simply lovely and hypnotizing, going after Sweet Kitten. Now we have Simply Lovely pushing forwards. The E50Ms are moving in. We have Pat shooting from the hills. Codex is the first one that is gone. And we have Kobanchik being focused on now. Now we have God, who needs to be very... Oh, he goes down. Kobanchik, not long for this world either. And Sweet Kitten has been taken out. Simply Lovely is facing a lot of opposition, all in his own, but the focus fire from Boo is not quite there. There goes Folklores. And now it is 6 versus 3. And Pat is almost reloaded, is going to clip another here. Ilya does go down. There goes Simply Lovely, who survived a lot longer than he probably should have. And now it's just Ghost. It's probably just meant to be Ghost, but I'm gonna go with Ghost. And he is being eaten alive. Even though he is sporting one of my favorite camos, even though you now can't see that anymore. And the first game is for BPS. Oh yeah, basically the thing is, there are names, not in this group, luckily, and so far not in this tour, but there are names that you can't say on stream as a streamer, so you always have to be careful. So I try to always go over the names to see if I can say them on stream, and if they're acceptable in both words and meaning. But that was a very brutal game. Boo basically just went YOLO. Can't really describe it any other way. And it can be a legit tactic, mind you. They just lost way too much HP actually doing it. And didn't get the damage in that I thought that they would, I think. So for the second game on Middleburg, we see Boo now taking 3 E50Ms, 3 AMX54s, and Ghost in the 215B. And on BPS's side, we see Pat in the Pat chat. Oh, Punisher taking out the F3. I've said this before, and I'll say it again, because I will always say this. I do not like the fact that the meta is so paid for. I don't blame anyone in any tool team for using the tank that works best, mind you. I mind wargaming, basically making these tanks so meta that they're the ones that have to be driven in order to secure victory. But yeah, BPS is now sporting 2 Super Conquerors, 2 F3s, a 215B, and 2 AMX54s. Pat left the Pat chat behind, and is the only one in the tech tree tank now. And on the other side, more than half the team is at least in the Tech 3 tank. So there's that. But again, not blaming any team for playing premium or collectible tanks. I fully understand that. Let's see. Here we go. I always find that when I start streaming tours again, every single time before I sign up for it, I'm like, do I want to do this again? And then I'm doing it and I'm like, just like, yeah, I do want to do this again because it's so fun. Kitsune spawning in the hills kind of has to be. We see blind shots happening left and right. No one getting hit for that though. Now base C and B are being taken. Base B, this is interesting though. Sweet Kitten taking the first hit there, together with hypnotizing. Pat and Kitsune also took a bit of a hit there. And now Boo has 2 bases, and that basically amps up the pressure for BPS. More than that, A is completely unprotected. Where Focalor's now moving. He can probably get some farming shots into Postravleni there. But he is spotted, so has to be careful with that. BPS is pushing into base C, not wanting them to get the advantage too far up. Kitsune taking more hits. We have the Punisher and Amadeus. Oh, Punisher losing a whole lot of HP very, very quickly here. I'm not sure if this was meant to happen that way. He seems to be having massive ping issues, probably. He does get a kill, but then goes down immediately himself. Coda is not looking too healthy. Amadeus is moving in to make sure that he goes out. Then has to be careful to not get murdered himself. He isn't a super conqueror, but it is a tool. Focalor's Sweet Kitten is down. Amadeus is not looking too healthy. He can't really do much of anything where he's at. Except for try and survive a little bit longer. And he might get another shot in, but after that the only thing that he can do is basically get Go-O's stuck. Go-O's follows straight after though. Kitsune barely surviving. But it is 5 versus 3. Focalors is by far the most healthy of the bunch here. There goes Ender, there goes another, and there goes Kabanchik. And the match is a solid for BPS again. And the thing is that in the beginning, like with the cap points, Boo had the advantage, but then they just started losing too much HP and eventually guns. I really do think that Punisher had some ping issues maybe. So we are going to move on to Black Goldville. New map, new video. Black Goldville is one of those maps that I actually quite like playing on. I like it a little bit less for tours because usually you have some very much holding positions. It can be fun to watch though. Like with the 3 bases that you have, depending on the positions that people take, they can be absolutely stuck and get murdered for it. And in a way, as a streamer, I enjoy watching that. To be fair, I'm also into true crime and everything, so that probably fits. So yeah, that is the next map that we're going to go to. We now have 50 seconds left before we go into the 3rd game of this first matchup. If BPS wins this game, then they are through to the upper bracket. And that would mean that Boo is through to the lower bracket. And with 35 seconds left on the clock, we see Boo now ready with 3 AMX 54s, a Kranwagen, 2 T22 mediums, and a 215B. Versus Pat in the Pat chat again, 3 AMX 54s and 3 E50Ms. Let's see. The thing is though that with tours and all, it takes up a lot of time. In my case, also for preparation. Like, I have to do everything early in the day because my health issues can tend to basically make things difficult. So instead of eating at a normal time, I eat at like 4 p.m. to make sure that everything goes well. And then I go upstairs at around 7 just to make sure that everything is set up and working nicely and everything. And of course, this is nothing compared to what tour players actually, invest, that's the word I was looking for, in tours. Because the thing is, they have like all the daily training sessions. We see the blind shots happening. They do see, this is the thing, those little puffs of smoke that they see when they hit here, they will have noticed that too. We have the E50M moving in, Kabanchik having been spotted, and now Hypnotizing has to be a little bit careful. Does not quite want to be, oh, he does take a hit for that, and another one, but decides that he does not want to be there anymore. He's still getting shot at. In the meantime, we have Pachat at base C taking it, base A now being kept as well. Codex now getting reset a little bit. Hypnotizing, hugging the rocks. Well, that's a rock, was this like, that's a weirdly rendered thing. A little bit of bleeding happening all around. They do have the point advantage though, so as long as they hold and don't lose too much HP, they should honestly have this. Ghost in the loveliest camo, or one of them in the game. Now we have the E50Ms moving around and holding. They're basically giving Boo base A because they don't need it. They have that advantage. They just need to make big is into God though. Let's see. Now with Ilya being set up on a little bit. Kitsune moving in. Focalors losing HP. Kitsune in the meantime is cheekily keeping. Oh, Pat! Losing a whole lot of HP there. And Kitsune decides that it's not worth the risk. He's probably going to eat no, he's not going to eat another one. But this did not quite work as intended. Now we have Focalors slowly but surely being eaten. Punisher making a move. Hoping that Focalors will be overextending, I'm guessing. Hey, Buttons. Hello, everyone, mind you. Just saying an extra hello to Buttons because we don't see him all that often these days. Focalors now with his sandbags activated. I love being able to fly through the walls. That's a nice little fire. That certainly helps. Base A is being stolen. That's also a gorgeous camo. Base C is being stolen as well, but at this point that doesn't matter because they also stole base A. Sweet Kitten in danger. Kitsune does take a hit for that though. And another one. And another one, but he does get the kill and he's almost losing his life for it. So that's something he has to be a bit more careful about. BPS now moving in. Murdering Codex. Kabanchik. Facing off. Ooh, shooting, hypnotizing. Landing another one. Hypnotizing goes down by Ghost. Kabanchik is probably not going to survive versus both of these though. Especially not with Punisher making it difficult. There he goes. Punisher takes him out. Now we have 4 versus 3 with a lot of module damage. Ghost getting set on fire as well is not going to help him. 860 points. There goes Amadeus, there goes Ilya. Pat's still alive. Has to be careful though. But it's just another. He's the last one left alive. And he survives with 26 HP. And Pat kills him off. And the game and the matchup are for BPS. This was a much more patiently played game. Oh, look at the damage from Amadeus. Like, this is something I always feel that I need to point out. It is a tool. You cannot basically go by damage. The fact that, let's say, hypnotizing only did 910 damage does not mean he wasn't effective. Because it all depends on where you're at and what you are doing. Like, you can play bait. One of the things that we see with, I'm gonna go with Aqua there. Because we have Zerd and Aqua. And Zerd tends to play bait, which means that he goes to a position and he's basically the one that will get shot to hell eventually and just survives for as long as he can. But that allows for the team to do other things. And it means that he could do the least amount of damage, but he would still be super effective. And that's something that you see in tools. Randoms, not so much, but tools definitely. In the meantime, though, I've got some fun replays listed for you to show in the meantime, because this was the first matchup. I'm just going to have a quick look to make sure that the next match is indeed... That's not the one that I meant. This is the one that I meant. Yes, you can still get all painless. Yeah. At 50. So we have about half an hour of replays. Let's see. There have been some games that I've been eager to watch. So we're going to go with that one first. Here we go. This is a tank, like back in the good old days where I was still grinding tanks. I drove this tank and it wasn't that bad, but there was also a lot less tanks in tier 8. And a lot less good tanks in tier 8, so this one could hold its own. After this tank, of course, I got the T95, and the T95, it taught me that it's okay to skip a tank if you absolutely hate it with free XP. But I didn't mind the T28 back in the day. And now it's got the super speed boost, of course. But it's still not a tank that I'm really worried about if I meet it. Of course, when it's in the hands of people like Rohan, basically, you get stuff like this. He's not even spotted for that, is he? Oh my god, he actually looked away. Maybe it's easier to hit him. Bless him. But yeah. Rohan is one of those people and persons in the game that just deserve a lot of showing off, to be honest. He's basically helping Wargaming run the super tests and the clan tests and all of that. And he does a lot of actually contributing to the community. So he deserves massive thank yous for that, and also just a lot of credit, to be honest. I love it when they just stand there. Where did that go, though? Let's see. Okay, now one's pulling back. Like, I've seen the battle results, so I'm always curious to see how this goes and how you get to this result that I know will follow. Nice. Nice little bounce. Like I said, this tank used to be good, but seeing it perform like this makes me feel like I should drive it more. Let's see. Cheeky bugger. At least we know where he's at now. Yes, Jamira. Do it. You know you want to. Get poof! And then we hug the building. Or we go back. He's just slightly farming at this stage, really. Feels kind of evil. This is the thing, though. The loveliest game are the ones where you are just not the primary target. But yeah, honestly, this tank used to be fun. Now I'm surprised of any good game that I've seen it. Nice. We know the elephant is still there somewhere. Oh no, he moved. Nisu's there. Hello there. Ooh, speed boost. Super speed boost even. Let's see. Thing is that I would be nervous with these tanks here. Especially now the elephant is actually moving away. I was just gonna say I would go after the Isu. Let's see. He's getting some help from the bad chat. Nice. I honestly don't know but whatever clan he's in, they're lucky to have him. I would just start the troll cup now, right, by the way. But that's me. Elephant is going up the ramp. No, he's not pushing. Nice. Run away, Batchet. Oh my god, he missed. It's fine, Immortal. Basically, when it comes to qualifier streams, they're not usually that many of them. Watchers, I mean. But I still enjoy the games. It's just not as intense as it later on gets. Ron is playing a lot more patiently than I ever could. Which is one of my biggest strengths, but also one of my biggest weaknesses. Where did he go? Let's see. There he is. Batchet can easily shoot him there, though, I think. Ooh, he's facing the Batchet now. Is he seriously shooting HE? Nice bounce! And then he still doesn't get the kill. Oh, that's just mean. Quasimodo, I have to say, I have a cheat there. And the cheat is called A Professor A, who explains to me how I should pronounce these nicknames. When I ask him, like, okay, how do I do this? But that was a beautiful game. Very nicely done. So yeah, that's one that I was looking forward to showing. Let's see, what else have I got? I've got some games from Lorenzo. I'm going to show you a Batchat game. Let's see. Oh god, this map though, I love it and I hate it. It's one of those maps where I either lose or I ace the tank. There's pretty much nothing in between. She's either goes really well or really horrible. Let's see. This is one of the things I hate about it. All the camping that all the teams do. I can't blame him for doing it, mind you. It's just not a playstyle that I like. Let's see. Oh, that was a blind shot though. Now he spotted. But yeah, like I said, I can't camp. I'm not good at it. In the meantime, ooh, got a lovely replay handed to me, so I will be showing that off as well. I always wonder, like, if I look out of the game window, can you hear it or not? No, he's pulling back. Always feels like a wasted clip that way. I think it does help that I play Supremacy only on this map, so I can sort of add pressure with bases. Nice, 30B got the 50B. I think it's when you get players like Lorenzo, they make it all just look so easy. Are we going after the standard B first, or are we going to clip the... No, we are going after the standard B first. Which is probably a good thing. Because standard B can be very, very dangerous. Noise. Like, if the 30B can finish him off. There we go, beautiful. Basically, the 30B is sort of like an accidental teammate. I always appreciate that. Just a casual damage farming here. It's just insane. Yeah. The thing is, with the set times, you always have that time in between, and when one team is that strong, and Bo just didn't have any luck. I saw Agassi, thank you. You hear this in 3 minutes, but still. No, he's just hiding. Damage farming. There we go. He was literally just waiting for the kill, I think. That was a lovely little game there. I can't believe he's not using a background though. Like, none. But totally OP. Let's see. What else have I got for you? I have a game that isn't an ace, but that I found really funny because I had a very YOLO teammate and he won us the whole game. But maybe I should save that for now. Because I still have an Ohen replay. Let's start with that first. The Scent is one of those tanks that I just generally don't bother with. I don't like it. It's not my playstyle. And no, it's not a bad tank. It's just it and I do not get along. Let's see. They have a carrot with the boss camo. I like that. I like the big boss camo. It's fun. Nope, he's not pushing. He's not going for it. Ooh, A and B are being capped. That's not good. Ooh, there's D30 there. And the STB is still there as well. Do, do, do. That hash though, like honestly. And that's the end of the STB. He just fired right past him. Oh, when it pens though, it just pens bad. That figures. Do you think the Minotauro knows that he can't turn his turret the full way? Now we'll never know. Oh, beautiful. Oh, there's people there. There's one less people there. Well, you did eat one. What's brutal? I approve of this. That should be the end of the E1. And it is, just not in the way we expected. That's a very quick game though. Brutal. And the farming is unreal. Lovely little game. Still like this background as well. Oh, that's one of the things I really want them to have back and reforged. The fact that you can put an avatar and a background per tank. Oh, that's something I would so spend all my gold on. Because I absolutely love that fact, that idea. Let's see, what else have I got? Like, I have some games of myself that I could show, but there's also some replays where I'm just like, I need to show this. Like this one. Basically, ex-Fluffy Tiger was on the same mission that I had with my E6, heading towards rank 50 and needing one more ace in order to get there. And then this battle happened. Hello. Let's see. I hope it's not a campy game though. I might just skip a little bit. There we go. Generally speaking, I can't blame anyone for camping in the beginning of a game, because it can definitely be the right call to start with. There's just too many people that stay campy and just don't really do anything except camp, which is why I'm not a fan of it. And the rail, of course, is one of those tanks that people usually use to camp. No one's there. Concept B can't be shot. There's no target. This would be the point where I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna move. But that's mainly because I'm very impatient when I play. If not for the fact that you can't skip back, I probably would be like skipping forwards. You didn't get spotted for that. That was too impatiently shot. Still didn't get shot for that though. There are campers over there at the back. This is looking to be a very campy game. I don't understand why he keeps moving though. Like at this stage, he's not getting shot at. Nice. He did get spotted for that. They've lost 2 teammates already. Ooh, there's a grill, there's a grill, there's a grill! There's a grill! There you are! Grill! Whoop! He was getting shot at there though. Bush is gone. Nice. Nice. It is a very campy game though. But there's only 3 people left. See, this is the point where we just sit very, very still and see what happens. Oof, there goes the bad chat. He did get spotted for that one. And he's dropping down. They do still have a base advantage, but it is 2 versus 5. Oh, he does need that kill. Nice. Good kill and base keep. And now it is 1v4. Ooh, ow. Ooh, that is lucky. This is going to be interesting though. Because did the Waffen reload or not? This is clever. Because now he's actually damaged himself. He kind of needs an ammo right now. Nice. Itchy, itchy, In the back? Nope. My god. Nope. Denied. Oh. Seriously though. Nice. Nice. And that, oh, that got him. That got him. Holy crap. That game though. Not gonna lie. That was very, very, very lucky. But it is epic. Epic ending. Very well played. Okay, I've got time for one more. Quickly, I'm going to show this one. From our very own Denial together with Zudidi. I'm going to... Oh, we should have time for this. Leo can be such a magnificent beast, though. Especially when people are getting in each other's way here. Oof. There goes third. Nice. I like how he's not even in sniper mode. Nice. This again, you understand why the map was removed in order to rework it, because... Yeah. I do still like the map, though. Let me just... Magically, time jump. Oof. I'm sorry for not giving it the full space that it would actually should get. Just don't want to miss the room invite. Is it getting looked at though? Let's see. Nah, I never sing on official streams, and this does count for me as an official stream. Six versus 2. Nice little actual fire. That poor rhinoceronte. Don't think he's got a clue. And another... Ah, that's just mean though, Dano. I think he'll be in denial for a long time for that. The rhinoceronte, that is. Like, when the Leo works, it just really works. I can see basically saying what I thought about the grill match. That was a lovely, very quick game. Totally didn't skip anything. But that was, seriously, just... He makes it look easy, doesn't he? The thing is, though, that with the ranking, it means absolute 0. I just do it for shits and giggles. Also, look how the Pro Tool background looks. It's just amazing. So now we wait for the room invite to come. It should be like within a minute. But yeah, I've got a lot of... quite a few tanks now to rank 50. I wish you could like filter it like which rank you're at. I'm currently working on the standard B as well as the phase 1 to get them to rank 50. Not because I need to, but just because I can. Stream works fine for me. I'm not seeing anything internet-ish problems or anything. There we go. Oh god, whenever someone says something like that in the chat, I get a near heart attack. Let's see. Who are we going to be looking at? They only have one. I think they have 3 teams, so basically, like, no one's out just yet. Aqua is going to face off against Nexus. That is still going. I love the name We Always Bounce, though. So far, not many surprises. Ooh, this is a surprise, though. Let's see, that is still going as well. To be fair, Autumn did have some familiar names, if I remember. Yeah, not necessarily. I should have really saved the names. Because I think, let's have a quick look. This, we have, that is Borsachok, the one that I'm looking at. The almost top one. That one. Borsachok, I should say. It's only not confusing or anything. I think that's the one. And this is... yeah, the top one is Samurai Chick. See, I'll get there eventually. It just takes a long time for me to get there. Let's see. We can almost go into the room. The thing is, like, my actual first name, I'm not talking about Amonet. Amonet's fine. But my actual first name is very difficult to pronounce for most English-speaking people. Like, unless you've been taught French, you will not know how to pronounce it right. Because part of the sound that is in my name doesn't exist in the English language. So for me, I always find it important that I pronounce the names right, and I can't always help it, but I do my best. Let's see. BPS already completely there. Desert. Slowly moving in. We are starting it off on one of my favorite maps in the game, which is, of course, Faust. Faust is one of the only night maps that we've got right now. I really love it. I think it's a lot easier on the eyes than all the bright lights, daylight maps things. I love the bridges and the tunnels that they've got here. It makes for a very interesting gameplay, even though it can be a bit campy when we get to the top 8. I'm really curious to see what the top 8 will consist of this year, though. At least this season, we should say. There's quite a few tanks that I've got at rank 50. I've got the Spaghetti 65, Spaghetti 46, the Fury, the Rinoceronte, the Yo, the E6 as of recently, the Carrot, of course. I've got all of them at rank 50. T77 as well, as of recently. I think? Did I? Or is it still at 49? It might still be at 49, actually. No, it isn't at 50. Yeah, I did ace it recently. I have that replay, actually. Which was one of the games where I was like, yeah, am I going to show myself off or am I going to show other people off? Because I can play. It not always all that well, but I can play at times. I don't think I will ever get every tank to rank 50 because I don't care enough. But I just like the tanks that I like to get there, and it gives me something to grind. Since I have free XP tanks anyway, because I don't want to have to grind. But yeah, let's see. We have Arten Pivovar. Pivovar or Pivovar? Yeah. Ready in an E50M, an LT, 4 AMX 54s, and a Chieftain. And we see BPS ready with 4 AMX 54s, a Chieftain, a Batchat, and an E50M. I do like Bat in the Batchat. That is kind of like, I'm into dad jokes a lot. So puns are part of that. So the pet chat is just a natural occurrence to me. And here we go. Also, I am so grateful that my microphone is so good that it's not picking up the fan, because it just makes everything a little bit more comfortable. It's not as warm as it used to be, but we've had like half a week of 30 plus, and I would think it like 35, 34, which is ridiculously hot for the Netherlands, and it's not what we're used to at all. So I'm very grateful that that is now gone. And it's still warm in the house though, like the heat still has to leave the house. The Patchet is heading towards the base to cap it. And we have hypnotizing, I should probably say. I appreciate that legacy. But the O sound doesn't exist in English. I do love the Monster Evo camo though, it looks so good. He's found pretty much the whole enemy team though, and he's kind of deciding that he does not really like that. He's pretending to run away, but Amadeus and God have been spotted. Nagibatop has lost quite a bit of HP. God is holding. They are nicely dug in there. Amadeus now losing a little bit of HP. Borsachok being shot at. We have Samurai Chick turning around to help. Pat is reloading. Now Samurai Chick has also been spotted. Nagibatop not looking too healthy. But we have Kitsune and Postravleni now pretty much facing 4 tanks on their own in the corner. And they do still get the kill. Punisher does at least. It is still... Now they have more people. Postravleni is probably not going to survive. But Shadow might be gone before that happens. And they is just blocking Meteorite here. And he actually still survives. I like how Postravleni is still alive. Meteorite is just like, I want to get out of here. Please let me go. And Amadeus is like, nope. Borsachok now running off. Let's actually go to Samurai Chick, still fairly healthy. But there are only 2 guns versus 5. Postravleni might be very low on HP. But the rest pretty much isn't. Hypnotizing. Running around. Now they spot each other. Samurai Chick turning around, not shooting him. Actually, now they're both there. Let's go back to third person view. Postravleni. Dude! I kinda want to go look at Postravleni's corpse. Borsachok still, ooh, does not manage to escape there. But the game is for BPS. And yes, this is definitely the meta with these tanks. Mainly AMX-54s and E50Ms, with a bit of other tanks in between. It's kind of like the similar meta to last season. I can't really blame anyone for picking what works. Yeah, 1.5 minutes left to go before we go into the second game of this best of 5. Let's see. There's now also a fun thing to note is that they're all PC players, whereas most of BPS is touch. But there's it now ready with a Super Conqueror, an LT, 3 AMX 54s, a 215B, and potentially another AMX 54. Whereas BPS is now getting ready in a Patchat, an E50M, 2 AMX 54s, potentially 4, and potentially a Chieftain MK6. Yeah, it is Porsche Jock. I keep just like to check to make sure that I'm thinking of the right one. The thing is that with a name that is in Boo's team, which is the Solotka Kisheka, that's something I really struggle with. That's why I just revert to Sweet Kitten. Ooh, Punisher's now in the F3. So we have 3 AMX 54s, 2 E50Ms, an F3, and a Bachat. And let's see. Faust can be difficult to spectate on though, because of the tunnels and the bridges. Like I have the mod so I can fly through walls, which is very, very helpful. So should I say hypnotizing or hypnotizing? I keep thinking about Pingu. Noot noot. Most of desert has been spotted. Hypnotizing has to be a little bit... No, they're not actually in on that ramp. They're more down below. He is getting shot at immediately though. But they did get a base. Gold is holding. And we have Borsachok not looking so healthy there. Nagibatop losing a little bit of HP as Gold turns around and does not really want to be there anymore. BPS letting them have the space. Punisher's still there though. Oh, God does take a hit for that. Not quite unspotted yet. Pat. Cheekily. Just going to get the base right under their noses. We have Shadow. A meteorite. Holding on the ramp, but there's not really anyone for them to shoot. And Pat has just basically kept on the base. Didn't even get spotted for it. Even though Kitsune and Amadeus have lost a little bit of HP for it. Solville does eat one. But is now basically free to... Not quite that free. Borsachok got a shot into him. And then the Patchat decides that he does not really want to be there anymore. Pretends to go back, but as soon as he goes unspotted, he might just leave. He does get spotted again. No. He is getting those shots in though. Borsachok barely surviving with 105 HP left now. Ex Libris holding. But now we have the E50Ms moving in as well. Solville is the preferred target for them. That's the one that the Wolfpack is heading to. And now, the Patchat. He's trying to get the shots in. Ex Libris not looking too healthy. He does take a hit for that, but... There he goes. Borsachok ran away. The E50Ms are relocating. Desert has basically relocated to the other spawn. Has caught base D. Nagibatop getting shot at. Amadeus getting shot at as well. The Patchat holding on the bridge. But being very, very careful. Postravleni Has some friendly friends behind him though. Oh, Patchat has to be careful. Patchat is almost gone. He's now using the wall here to get unspotted in the hope that he can leave and stay alive. His now meteorite is also relocating in a position where it's easier to murder Patchat. He's not quite spotted right now though. Kitsune gets spotted. He does take out Samurai Chick. Meteor right now spotted as well. Some very low HP targets here. Kitsune casually just getting hit in. Borsachok goes down. And it's Amadeus that takes home the last kill here. We actually still have a tank. But there we go. Shadow was just like in the shadow for me. I have that in actual games as well every now and again. I'm just like, okay, that's a kill. Now we're done. And I was like, oh wait, there's still a tank. But yeah, BPS takes it home on point. Shadow gets to live another day. Overall, it was a bit of a chaotic game every now and again. I do feel that BPS was wasting some of their HP, but they got away with it. Let's see. Like, that is a name that I cannot pronounce on stream. So we're going to call him S-Max. Oh, he's not playing like the Badger, no. That would be fun. Apparently Borsachok means like little badger. If I remember that one right. That would be fun. But yeah, we are heading off to Naval Frontier. Which looks like this. 3 bases, 1 on each side, 1 in the middle. Lots of fire lines basically all across the map. Which we usually see being used to maximum advantage everywhere. And I do like this map though, both for tours but also for randoms. Basically, this is one of the maps where you can usually get some fun supremacy games happening, where people are just playing with the bases. Basically, not that long ago, we had I think this was the first qualifier. We had a match where it was E50M versus LT, and they just basically ran around the rock, and the LT won because they had the points. So now we have Desert ready with an an E50M, 4 AMX-54s, an F3 and an LT. And BPS is taking, come on, load in. Thank you. An F3, 2 AMXs, a Batchat, a Chieftain, and 2 E50M. Oh dear, I hope it did well, Justice for All. I tend to have a real tendency to just noob out these days. BPS focusing on the middle and C side. Borsachok going into the middle position to spot people crossing over. He's not spotting anyone yet though. First shots have been fired. Samurai Chick losing a little bit of HP. Postovleni pulling back. Nice little shot there by Punisher into Shadow. And we have Desert pretty much making it an iron fist and just pushing. They don't really have the support fire, and pretty much all of BPS is here now. We have Samurai Chick being farmed, Ex-Libris being farmed. Postovleni now also coming around to that side. And there's some difficult fire lines there, making it difficult for them to hit each other because there's cover covering both sides basically. Pat capping the base to avoid them getting a big advantage. 3 AMX are holding here, whereas 1 F3 Ooh, Kitsune not looking too healthy here. We have Amadeus helping, but also running low on HP. He is trying to get that. Ex Libris is actually the first one to be gone. Pat is still surviving, running around. Shadow goes down. There goes Postravleni. He is the first one from BPS to be gone. Meteorite is arriving at the back. But they are focusing on Nagibatop. But overall there, it is a bit of a chaotic match. Meteorite just driving straight into the middle of all the fire. That is not going to be long for this world either. Nagibatop goes down, as does Kitsune. There goes Pat. There goes Samurai Chick. It is 4 versus 3. 4 versus 2. Amadeus is still alive, if barely. Solville turning around a little bit there. Borzichok running off. Solville wanting to get Amadeus. He does take a hit for it though, making him a one-shot. God got stuck on the corpse. Slowly but surely pushing the turret. That is cheeky though. But there he goes. And now it's just Borzichok that is left. Versus quite a lot of... Ooh, he does eat one for that. 32 HP left for Borzichok. And I think he knows what's coming now. There's just no way. And there he goes. Hypnotizing, getting him. Yeah, I just noticed that too. The middle name, I mean. Beautiful game, this. Brutal little game. And that is the... There we go. Desert versus Raid. Oh, Boo didn't make it. Boo was fun to watch though. But I'm happy to see Raid as well, because we haven't seen a Raid in a long time. Let's see, how did that end? 3-2. They went all the way to the tiebreaker. Let's see if we... I wish I could just like grab the scroll bar. But yeah, we have Powagi with Afir. Oh, we've watched Afir before. That is a lovely team as well. Versus BC Cat. Aqua versus Nexus. We always bounce too much to stay in, unfortunately. Belov versus Tufua. Serenity MV. Istra not looking too good. Esbil and Unks. They didn't expect this either. Oh my god. The more tired I get, the lamer my jokes get, honestly. And of course our group. Ren versus Love. And Oxas versus Demon. So let's see, 3.5 minutes left. So half a minute left before we go into the room and have a look-see. In the meantime, I'm getting all the DMs on Discord. Let's see. I also hate this, but oh, you go no. It does actually show on stream. GG. I'm not a fan of this. Just takes too many tickets, and the tickets are too expensive. And don't get me started on the auction. I can rant about the auction. We have minutes. The auction is so bad. Like, honestly, I expected better. Like, usually the auctions have some good deals, and then you're just like, oh, that's lovely. But in this case, the deals are bad. The prices are too high. Even when they get to the lower prices, usually it's just not worth it. And you get a tank without the camo and without equipment. You stupid. Great Blue just entered the chat with, I'm embarrassed already by our performance and we didn't even play. GG. Aww. I'm sure it's not that bad. Yeah. For this lower bracket finals, we're going to go to Canal. Canal looks like this. Also one of my favorite maps, one of the bigger maps. I like playing this in the metal, I like playing this in the heavy, though I will go different sides generally. I also always play Supremacy, which definitely helps with that, because there are 4 bases, which generally makes it more fun to add pressure. So that is where we are starting off. This is always where you need to not go, by the way. You can do the inner tour sometimes, but usually you just get absolutely murdered. But yeah, 1 minute, 17 seconds left to go before we go into the first game of this best of 5. And we have Raid ready in an LT, an F3, a 215B, 2 E6s, an AMX 54 and another LT. And then on Desert side we see 2 LTs as well, 4 AMX 54s and 1 AMX 50B. Let's see. I do like the E6s being used. I love the E6 as a tank, honestly. Like, it's one of my favorites ever. I think it's because, like, back in the day, I used to play only TDs, which is also why I snipe mode a lot. And then when I finally got to a heavy line, it was the E5. And I loved the E5, absolutely loved it. And it was, for a very long time, my most played tank ever. It doesn't look it in the stats mainly because the aces weren't counted and everything, but I had some of my best games ever in the E5. And then basically they removed the cupola. And they just made it a boring heavy, and I still regret that. But then you have the E6, and it's basically the E5 before they removed the cupola. So it's so much fun. And the thing is that with the cupola, that's pretty much the most troll part of your armor. Because people will spend ages aiming for it, and then either miss, or they can bounce. And if you play it right, you just make them miss. It's awesome. So let's see. Raid heading towards base B and base A. We have the LTs heading that way as well. Nagiba top getting spotted, so does Bigula. Still bad, losing quite a bit of HP, so does Dicta. Nagiba top losing a bit of HP as well. The LTs have been spotted, did not get shot for it though. B has been stolen, A is getting capped. We have Solve, I think it's Solve, not Safe. Getting some cheeky shots in there, he has to be careful not to get spotted there though. And now Raid has a 2 base advantage. Right now, Borsachok has run all the way back in order to get that base. And we have Solville running off potentially to go and grab base D. No, he's going up the ramp. Probably wanting to farm. But Raid has actually... Ooh, Pigula now in trouble. Has to be careful with how he angles this tank. Nagiba top getting focused on. We have Misha is the new Vader. And Adrianito making it difficult for Nagiba top. Ex Libris is already gone though. We are just focusing on this. He is getting some shots in, but there he goes. The second gun from Desert gone. Now they do need some help with Shadow here. Now Solville is empty. Misha is moving in. Bigula. Kind of like not paying attention to the other people around him. Ooh, he does need to survive, if he can. Pigula and Shadow get taken out at the same time, followed by Meteorite, making it 6 versus 3. Shokuda moving back. Adrianito goes down. There goes Shokuda. Actually, like, tempted to pronounce it in a sort of, whatchamacallit, Japanese way. Borshichok is gone. And Blue takes him out, making him take his head off. And Blue is the one that said he was embarrassed, even though they didn't even play yet. But that went fine. I mean, it was a bit yellowish from Raid. But they got the win. Let's see, 1.5 minutes left to go. Hello, Adrianito. We're slowly but surely getting the Raid team in here. I like that. And for the second game on Canal, we see Desert getting ready with 2 LTs, 2 AMX-54s, 2 E50Ms and a Hori. Versus 4 E50Ms, an LT, 2 of them even, and an AMX-54. So that's a lot of speed with a little bit of armor. Ooh. Desert now switching to the E50Ms as well. It's still having more armor than Raid does. Let's see. The thing is that with these tour matches all the time, I'm so grateful that they follow each other up right away. Because otherwise you have like half an hour in between matchups all the time. Which with the round robins makes sense, because then you only have 2 matchups in an evening, so that's perfectly normal. But generally, like, the game has to take into account then that a match can last 7 minutes. So that's why the time in between matchups is like all the games that could potentially be played with the waiting time in between as well, for the max amount of time that the games can be. So I'm really grateful that they built in this system where, like, when one matchup is over, you just go to the other one. And let's see. I want to follow the wolf back. Ooh, shots happening. Blue getting spotted. Borshichok taking a bit of a hit for that. But we have Blue. Blue has to move there, though. Because he's still spotted. But no, Nagibatop is not paying attention to him. Dicta losing quite a bit of HP. But Safe is still unspotted. Now he gets reset in the nick of time. Adrianito moving in. Going up the ramp. And now Solville losing a whole lot of HP very quickly there. Still shots happening again. Pugilano going for the base cap to see if he can get away with it. Using that little house as cover to not get spotted. There are shots that hit the ground though and not him. He does get away with it. He does get away with it. And he does get spotted now, but only after he's capped it. And then, no, he does not go down into the ditch. I thought that he would for safety. Pugilab taking the base, not letting the advantage from Desert grow too much. But now they need to determine where everyone is. There's like foggy over there. Adrianito slowly moving forwards. Nariba top has been spotted. Basically this position that Raid blue is in. It's the same one that we saw the grill in. But Desert does not seem to be keen on blind shotting bushes much. I think he's just keeping him spotted. He doesn't need to make a move. But we have the Hori all the way at the back. Save moving up. That is a tricky thing as well. Solville being kept safe. We see the fire lines happening. Meteorite has been spotted. And basically the E50Ms are getting shot at, but haven't been hit for it. But it will be up to Raid. They need a kill. Or they need a base. One of the two. Solville is nicely hidden at the back there, so the target with the least HP is not anywhere close. Look at Borsachok though. That's also a cheeky position to be in. With the pot of gold on top of his head. And he's just holding. He's just basically making sure that his team has targets. Dicta has been spotted as well. By Borsachok, of course. But they're not shooting that bush. I don't think they know for sure where he's at. The E50Ms are lying in wait. All of them together. This is a creepy move though. We're at 810 points. Exlibitus has been spotted. But they seem to be going after Meteorite. Misha. Dropping down. They need that kill, and they need the kill to happen before one of theirs dies. Save not looking too healthy. Almost gone. Has to be very careful now. Pigala dropping down as well. Getting the shots in. But Misha goes down first. It's not going to be enough to get one kill. Even though Meteorite does get that kill. They now need to get Pigala, keep Pigala alive. They need to get everyone alive. Pigala goes down. 982. Base B is getting kept, but it's not going to be enough. They're not going to reach enough. Still Bad is going to go down, and that's going to be the end. No, he's actually being ignored, but Adrianito goes down, then Save goes down, and the game is definitely for Desert. This was a ballsy move by Raid that did not work out. Because they pushed in, but the coordination wasn't quite there. And Desert just responded too well. They were dug in nicely because they had the advantage. They didn't need to take a risk. So with that, we're going to Desert Sands, the second map in this best of 5. We will at the very least see both the matches on this map. 3 base map. Basically all the bases are in a line together. We usually see a lot of camper action here on these railroads and crossfire lines as people cross over in the hope that they hit someone on the other side. And we have seen people do that in the past. One minute left. And we see Desert now ready with 4 E50Ms, a T22 BDM and 2 AMX-54s. And we see Raid getting ready with 1 AMX-54, a 215B, and potentially 5 E50Ms. And that's what they're sticking with. Let's see. 23 seconds left to go. And let's see if Raid can pull this back or if Desert will run away with it. The thing is that the more I say a name that is written in Cyrillic, hoping that I'm pronouncing it right, the more I do get used to it. And Borsachok seems to be like a regular on the Desert team. Which makes it easier because I will end up saying the name a lot. Is it Pigula or Pigula? I'm actually not sure. I find that generally I will either Englify a name and pronounce it as I would in English, or even Dutchify it. Because that is my mother language, so I tend to resort back to that as well. Look at that wolf pack though. Whereas everyone from Desert is heading in the other direction except for Shadow. Which could mean that Shadow is in deep, deep poop. They are not spotting anyone just yet. Dicta has been spotted and shot. Now Blue has been spotted, as has Shadow. And Shadow is all alone. Still bad. Ramming into Blue. But the wolf pack is making short work of this. At the same time, on the other side, we see Dicta being absolutely massacred. There goes Shadow, there goes Dicta. Now Adrianito has to be careful. Because he's pretty much the next in line for that wolf pack. Both teams have lost the gun, but Desert has more HP left. Adrianito decides that he does not want to be in that position. At the same time though, Raid is the only one that has a base. B is now being capped. Blue losing a little bit more HP, has to be more careful. And after this, basically, Solville is free to take base C as well, and that would amp up the pressure. And that's exactly what he's doing. And even though now Raid knows that they have a gun advantage in the desert, there's also just too much guns to deal with, and they're dug in nicely. Like, none of these are easy targets. And Raid's basically lost the advantage here. There's about 1k between them. Right now, Raid still has the advantage. Spigula is going after Solville. But Solville is not alone. Meteorite is there as well. And they are going after him. At the same time, that does mean that the wolf pack is now moving in the desert. Pigula will survive another reload. But there he goes. And now we're just quickly going into the desert. Shokuda is not the preferred target, and the preferred target here is Nagibatop. Or maybe not, they're now shooting Ex Libris. The focus fire is not quite there. Shokuda goes down. So does Misha, so does Ex Libris. It is 4v4, but there's a big advantage in HP for Desert here. Adrianito goes down. So does Blue. And now she's safe. And still bad. Oof, safe goes down. Still bad should be going down as well. And he does. Meteorite going in for the hug. And he does get another shot in, and it's Meteorite that kills him off. And the game is for Desert. And this is indeed not the raid that we're used to seeing. But this is just reacting better. And in this case, with Raid giving up the city, they also gave away 2 bases, and they had no way of decapping base B. Okay. Apparently, Pigula means the tyrant. Learn something new every day. So Okrutnik means the tyrant then. Okay. Pigula. But he does write it with an I rather than an E. Probably a word pun or something. "41 seconds left to go before we go into the fourth game in this best of 5, which means that basically Desert is up for match point. If they win the next game, then they are through to the grand finals, and that would mean that Raid is out. And we have Desert ready with 1 AMX 54 in E6, 2 T22 mediums, and 3 E50Ms. And on Raid side, we see 5 E50Ms, 1 215B, and 1 AMX 54. And yes, you will notice my little bit of happiness every time I see an E6, because I'm happy to see that type being used. To be fair, like, I would love to see an all carrot tournament, but I do understand that the carrot is not a tool tank. It's just sad because I like seeing my favorite tanks in the game. Let's see. I like the Boom Fatty camo. It's so bright. Raid's tool team, well, Wolfpack, is heading towards the middle. All together. All spotted now. Oh, Ex Libris getting called out. Misha does lose some HP for it though. Borsachok now. Getting wolf-packed. Not in the most effective way. I think it's taking them longer to take Borsachok out than they thought. And Misha's losing more HP than they thought as well, I think. That is an Emerald. That certainly helps. So that is one gun gone. No base is kept so far. Bigula holding at the back with crossfire from the other side. See, this is the thing with the train track stuff. They have to be very careful where they position themselves. Because there's so many fire lines. Solville now in a bit of trouble. Adrianito also getting shot, which is why he can't really peek up over the train tracks and again. Dicta getting a nice shot into Meteorite, but eating 2 for that. Big hit into Shadow. But Dicta is slowly being eaten alive and can't really get out of there, honestly. He might still get another shot in. And he does. And he bounces. But I don't think he's going to get another one. No, actually Shadow was looking the other way entirely. And it's actually Meteorite that takes him out. Solville goes down as well, though. Adrianito got set on fire, losing a lot of HP very quickly now. Safe goes down. Misha's not looking too healthy. They are trying to take out Shadow. And now we have 3 versus 2 on the other side. Shokuda goes down. Still bad. This was basically a mistake from Death's side. They almost had this. And now they're down to 2 tanks that are not looking too healthy. Adrianito is moving in. Taking the kill. And now it's just Shadow. Versus too many tanks. This basically flipped so quickly. Does mean we go for a tiebreaker though, which is fun. Adrianito gets set on fire again and murdered. And still bad. Takes out Shadow. I don't know what Pigula means if Pegula means the tyrant. Well, different name. Yeah, Pete. Basically, I do that a lot. The thing is that as much as I love watching tours, everything around it interested me as well. Like, I can't begin to understand tactics and stuff. That's not really my thing. Also, in the meantime, we're going to Port Bay, by the way, which looks like this. You have the harbor, you have the hills with the river. The thing is that I never say, like, I'm gonna expect them to go here or there, because the thing is that with a tour team, you can do anything, you can go anywhere you want. So, I always feel that guesstimating where they're gonna go, what they're gonna do, is useless, because they can go anywhere. I just like to watch it start and then just see what happens. I also like that this is in this map video, because that's also the camera that I use on the tank that I used to spectate with. I'm not sure if it's still the case. Like, I've been told that it isn't, but I'm not 100% sure. But back in the day, the tank that we took as spectators would actually affect the spawns. So, like, if we took a heavy, we would take one heavy spawn slot. So that's why I always use a light tank when I spectate, just to make sure that my choice does not affect the gameplay. Because light tanks will always start in the medium spawn, always. So the worst thing that I might do is replace a medium tanks to the heavy spawn, and it will be a lot easier for them to get back to the spawn than the other way around. Than heavy to heavy spawn, I mean. So we see 3 AMX 54s, 2 E50Ms to 215B and an LT for Desert, and 2 AMX 54s, 3 E50Ms to 215B and an LT for Raid. There we go. And somewhat funny because in between matches I check like stuff on OBS, and then suddenly realized that I'm not hearing the game sounds, and was just like, oh yeah, I need to click in the game again. And I have a feeling that blue is going to go up the little ramp thing. All of this is going entirely the other way though. I still need to try this, honestly. I've not actually done that. To be fair, I don't really play a lot of light tanks. Borschichok going towards the middle. Raid not spotting anyone, so immediately goes for the base. Misha taking a little bit of a hit. Base B is completely unprotected from both sides. But with base A having more people in it, they do cap it sooner. Actually, no, it was just one person. They just kept it sooner. And now both teams have a base. But Raid has a little bit of a point disadvantage, so it will be up to them to make a move. The E50Ms are running back around. Whereas Borshijok is hastily getting out of there. Save and Bigula moving in. Oh, nice little shot there into safe. But also loses a bit of HP. You always have to be careful here. Meteorite losing some HP as well. The thing is that once they're spotted, the fire lines can make things difficult. That shot did not do anything. Samurai Chick losing a bit of HP as well. To be fair, what you're doing, you're not wrong. Is that the game looked more like a random game, not coordinated to a tournament match. Happy for the tiebreaker though. Let's see, Dicta is moving out of there. So is Bigula. But Desert has stocked their tanks pretty much on both sides. So that will make it difficult for Raid to get a base one way or another. Borsichuk moving around. Liberty is being very careful, just standing there. As soon as anyone goes for base B, you can shoot them. I need to sneeze. Sorry. I felt that coming. It was like itching in my nose. Let's see. Not much happening now. This is kind of like a Cam Stella kind of match where nothing is happening. They're just feeling each other out, hoping that someone exposes themselves enough to be punished. Libris does get spotted there, so pulls back, but that also knows that they know that base B is not an option. Raid is expecting a push around this side, though, looks like. Because only now are people moving from the corner. The wolf pack is on the move. But they're not entirely certain. Misha takes a little bit more of a hit. That also means that they know that... This is what I mean. Like, you see that the mapping that they did there? That means that they know that they got shot from there-ish. Now Silver gets spotted. And basically, this is also another thing to know with tours. Like, I like explaining these little things, even though I don't fully understand tactics that are being played. There are so many things that you can learn from tour matches. Like, look at where Borsachik is. He's got his ass towards where he may get basically shot from. But the thing is that he's not there to shoot. The only thing that he's doing is spotting. He's there to warn about anyone coming, about anything happening. Now Raid is going after Nagibatop. Nagibatop is in a terrible position, can't really get out of there. Shadow not hitting that hit shot does not help. We're at 880. They can't afford to lose a tank. He does go down though, and he does not get another shot in, which means that all of a sudden it is now up to Desert to make a move and to get a kill and to make some magic happen. And they don't have very long for it because we're 950 points. They have to move fast. They have to get Misha basically. That's the preferred target. 980. And they're not pushing far enough. Adrianito goes down. All of a sudden now Desert has the advantage back. So now they have to keep the tanks alive. Please still need Misha though. That would secure it. Bigila moving in. And there with the kill on Ex Libris, Raid actually takes the match. And I think that we can blame this on Desert not responding fast enough as soon as Nagibatop got pushed there. But Raid managed it. And I can't say this was definitely not a landslide victory. This was a managed it. I want to accept that. Thank you. And this is something basically with tours you have games where one team wins, you have games that where one team loses. And technically speaking, yes, you have one of each always. But sometimes the team that wins because the other team lost and it was their loss basically. Thank you, what you're doing. It's always fun with the delay. Sometimes I see a comment and I'm like, ah, that's what they're seeing or hearing right now. Also going back to linguistics, by the way, so now we have a little bit more time again before we go into a match. One of my favorite things is like the origin of sayings. Like there's an, I'm not sure what the English word is, but translated I would say an etymological dictionary. And basically that explains the origin of words and it's so much fun. Like I love little facts like that. Like where does the word come from? What is the origin? How is it formed? Stuff like that. And it sounds really boring, but usually when you know the origin of a word, the word makes sense. I like how you also added the 3-minute delay because you're also hearing this with 3-minute delay. Ah. So yeah, after the first game from the grand finals is over for me, so that means that you see that 3 minutes later, then I will say stop guessing now in the chat. And it means that you can no longer enter for a battle pass or fan containers. My mama's going to bed. Just wishing her good night. Okay, let's see. We are below 3 minutes. We can actually go. I'm also not checking chat messages, by the way, because sometimes people tell me a crazy amount of personal stuff, and I don't want that to show on stream. So here we are. We are going to go to Lagoon. Do I have actually? Yeah, I do have a trailer for Lagoon. Lagoon looks like this. It is one of the maps that I find both fun to play on and incredibly frustrating to play on because potato teams cost you the game here a lot, depending on like if they split up or if they just don't know how to peek out without showing half of the tank. But yeah. Okay, if you're from Serbia, Immortal, what do Pigula and Pegula mean? Is there a meaning to it, or is it just name? To keep with the linguistics team. But yeah, I do feel that some maps are affected more by team actions than others. Other maps are a bit more forgiving because people tend to hold in places that are naturally a bit more forgiving. Also, that means that we're guessing full BPS, by the way, in the second game. So you're guessing the damage for BPS. Can you just imagine if this was Mirage, though? Like, some of the minimap icons kind of look like other maps. So Lagoon and Mirage. Well, Mirage is more yellow, but when you see it like in the minimap, it kind of looks similar. In the meantime, my sister just sent a video to the family app where you see like our dog when he was still a puppy, and he's so freaking cute. I will post it on my Discord later. In the house to you builder on the official channel and on my clan server because it's so cute. I like showing off the cute pets things. The thing is that I'm I'm not sure how or if I should say it, but yeah, I'm very depressed. So I have a lot of mental stuff going on. And one of the things that never fails to be a little pick me up is just pets. So cats and dogs always make me smile because there's so much unconditional love there. So they're just adorable. Always. But yeah, with 20 seconds left to go, let's focus on the actual grand finals for today. Raid getting ready with 2 E50Ms, an F3, 3 AMX 54s, and a Chieftain, versus 3 AMX 54s, 2 F3s, a 215B, and 1 E50M. Adrianito telling me not to judge. I will always judge you, but I will always also acknowledge that you can play this game so much better than I ever can. So even if I see you making mistakes, I can only imagine how many more mistakes I would be making there. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, that camo is also nice. That's a rank camo, isn't it? I think. So we have Raid going towards the middle and A. And pretty much Raid doing the same thing, only in different groups. So I'm curious to see who is going to meet who where. Look at this, look at this, look at this. E50Ms, E50Ms meeting everyone! Getting away with it so far as well. Raid Blue is actually like, I don't really want to be here anymore. Please help. There goes Still Bad. Blue in danger. And there he goes. We have hypnotizing. Moving in a little bit too far. Getting hurt. Misha. Getting shot by God. And Amadeus. And he does take another one there. And Amadeus is not looking too healthy. But he is going to... No, he's not taking him out. Ooh, he might actually still get the kill. No, God arrives first. Dicta moving in. Fired all 3 of his shells. He's probably not going to be able to shoot another one. Safe and Dicta both go down. And now it's just Adrianito who gets murdered by fire in the end. That was a very quick. I mean, just imagine, like, honestly, that was insanely fast. That went every wrong way, really. Okay, I'm gonna stop the guessing now. You can tell that this is a very quick game. Yeah, okay. I'm having fun with that, honestly. Wow, though. It was brutal. I wish you could just, like, that would be in the stats somewhere, how long the game is. Like, not in when you start the replay or anything, but just, like, you could see how long the game is. Like, let's see. It's almost 1 minute gone. And the game hasn't even begun on stream yet. Like, now it is. It was so freaking quick. Ah, that was funny. Now, with 50 seconds left to go, we are getting ready for the second game on Lagoon. And we have a raid going with an LT, an F3, a 215B, a Super Concurrent E50M, and potentially 2 AMX54s. Nope, it is another E50M and 1 AMX54. BPS on the other side. I'm getting ready with a Kranwagen. Ooh. And Super Concurrent AMX54, an F3, an LT, and 2 more AMX54s. Kitsune and Amadeus quickly unreadying. I hate it when they do that though. It always scares me. Like, there have been times when people were left behind for not readying up. Streamers included, to be honest, but that's their own fault. Let's see. Will this game be as quick and as brutal as the other one? And for which game would it be that? Hypnotizing, going forwards. Not spotting anyone though. And I think now Hypnotizing has to go and grab base A, but base A is not completely unprotected. He has to be careful not to get spotted there. He does get spotted there, but he manages to escape. Safe, on the other hand, is now in deep trouble. With Gold and Punisher moving in. Oof, that hit the ground. A and B have both been taken. Safe is losing more HP. Kitsune has to pull back now though. There goes Safe. No longer safe. Postrovleni in danger. Losing a lot of HP very, very quickly here. Postrovleni pulling back. Amadeus basically being the meat shield here. Kitsuno moving in. Not getting the shot in. They're focusing on Adrianito. They are waiting on Hypnotizing to arrive there. Still bad. In danger. Goes down. We have God basically making sure that no one else can shoot Adrianito. And another one in. Punisher is already facing the other way. Misha goes down. There goes Adrianito. Blue goes down. And now it's just Dicta, who shoots the ground. Big hits into Dicta. That shot missed, and he gets to survive a few more seconds. and land another one in. But hypnotizing takes him out. And the game is for BPS. So that means that the winning score is 16,198. So let's see. Third game, we're moving on to Cam Stella. Which looks something like this. With reason, my least favorite map. But to be fair, the last couple of times we've seen it, it's not been as bad as before. But it used to be such a campy map, like nothing would ever happen because no one was willing to drive anywhere where they could get shot at, which basically meant most of the map. So it's not always been the most fun map to stream with tours, so that's why it's my least favorite tour map. But recently, like I said, the games have been better, have been more action-packed. We've seen people go into little river things and everything. And it just makes things different and less boring to... Well, to be fair, no. Boring isn't the right term, because there's a lot happening. There's just no action. So I tend to, like... When you get to the top 8 or the top 4, I always love just pointing out what is exactly happening when nothing is happening. Because when people are holding, they're also gathering information. You can tell person A is getting information from there, and then person B is getting information there, and everything interacts with each other. And in the meantime, for the first match on Cam Stella, we see right now whether with an LT, 2 of them, an F3, a Hori, a Kranwagen, and 2 AMX 54s, versus a Kranwagen, AMX 54, 2 F3s, a Chieftain, and 2 E50Ms. Basically, I put that thing, Major Dangle just asked, why the heck do I need my phone number for your Discord? I don't see your phone number, it just means that your account is verified. And that is to keep the trolls out. So, like, the old accounts and everything are less likely to join. And to be fair, I can actually just manually give you a role. But that is why I set it in place, because when I first started my server, there were some massive trolls out and about. And luckily, all of things have been quieting down a little bit, and I much appreciate that. Save is all alone out there. I don't think he knows that, because otherwise he would be covering the base. Kitsune is holding. Now Save is capping the base, which is a good call, because he's not spotting anyone there. Amadeus moving forwards does get spotted. Blue being in a very cheeky position. Actually lands a shot there, so they know he's there. Amadeus being very forwards. He does spot Adrianito in the Hori though. And Dicta. Ew, he missed. And now we have Misha and Amadeus. In a bit of trouble. BPS is being very forwards here. But yeah, basically the phone number stuff is just a security setting. You can switch on or off if you want to. God has to be careful. Does get shot there, but does kill off Misha. And now we have Artyom. Basically not even looking that way. I'm not sure what Artyom is doing. Artyom might be having ping issues. No, he's shooting the other way. Kitsune is being set upon by 2. All of BPS is still alive, but Artyom is not going to be long for this world. Is now turning around to see if he can shoot. No, he cannot. He misses. And then dies. Hypnotizing, not looking too healthy. He should be able to take out Pigula. He does. But then gets taken out himself. Both teams have lost 2 guns. Raid is the only one with the base. Nice hit into Adrianita there by Amadeus, who survives a little bit longer by hugging the rock. Now we have gold moving in. Still bad goes down. But Adrianito is not alone. Safe goes down. Amadeus is arriving. Taking... That did not actually do any damage. Not sure if he shot underneath him or what. Making it 5 versus 2. With Amadeus now in danger. Does go down. And we have one F3 versus another F3. Ooh. There goes Dicta. And now it's just blue. And it is God that takes it home for BPS here. Yeah, I will give you a roll after the stream. I can manually just give it, just stay on the server. Cheeky little match here. Honestly, position-wise and cap-wise, I kind of thought that Raid would have this. And then BPS was like, nope, denied. So that is all the games up and over for tonight. I have my trusty moderators doing the whole damage casting thing here. So they're looking at the winners for me. Like, the matches were quite quick after that. Seriously, that first game was so fast though. But yeah, in the meantime, let's have a quick look at the other chart. Third stage, there we go. Ooh, Afera got left behind. With a tiebreaker though. I will tell you who won as soon as I know all the winners. So that is still going. They also started a bit... Well, they only just started. This is still going. They've been going a while, so that might be a tiebreaker as well. Belov took it home 3-0. Then we have Serenity. That is still going on as well. Asbill took it home 3-0 there. That was BPS. Ren took it home 3-0 as well. Demon versus Squad 1, 3-1. And like, I'm not really looking at comp settings yet because there's not really any reason to yet. That's only interesting at the 4th qualifier. So when it comes to the winners, the September Battle Pass winner goes to All Painless, so congratulations. And then the crate winners are Rate 77764, Red Astra 7, Geongo_XXX, and What You Doing. So congratulations. Like, I'm not sure when the crates will come. Like, I will hand in all the qualifier winners at once. So that will be the end of the month. So I think that they will go out at the same time as the Battle Passes. So yeah, that's it. So thank you all for watching. Thank you, Agassi and Eric, for doing the giveaway stuff for me and for translating stuff for me, because I really, really appreciate it. It makes it so much easier for me. And just, I can relax. So thank you for that. I will see you all at the 3rd day of the next qualifier, which I believe is Thursday. So I hope to see you all then. Thank you all for watching and have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.